Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of YouTube Plays StarCraft. Today I had very simple instructions, as there was not a lot of different instructions. There just was one, which had 7 upvotes, and it said go into carriers and harass with them. Go as fast as you can. And well, that was basically all the instructions I got, just build up to a big carrier army. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. He also said do this in every single matchup, and that's also what I'm gonna do. If I were to make any predictions, I would say this is not gonna work. Absolutely no chance against Protoss, 0 chance against Terran, but I might have some chance against Zerg. And it might just happen that we're playing a game against the Zerg right now, so that's real nice. So yeah, if you guys do want to see something specific, feel free to leave that in a comment. Be slightly specific in build order, open, or unit composition, and try to have something for every matchup. Something that you think would propel me to the highest level on the European ladder. And for now, we'll just be playing mass carrier, I guess. So we just wall. I'll open mass carrier, but we'll also do some harassment early on with the depths. I think there's nothing wrong with that. We'll get something on. This is a 6k Zerg, by the way, so not a bad Zerg whatsoever. It's not the hottest Zerg on the block either. So we're just making sure everything is being scouted. We put the GG logo on the map. Okay, well, here comes his scouting. I'm quite sure what he's gonna be trying to scout, because I don't care, he can see whatever he wants. Except once I start building my carriers. At that point, the party ends for him. Now, most likely he's gonna do a run by with one of the links. So we're gonna try to stop that. That's nice. That's real nice. And we'll go into... Okay, we see an overlord being built here. We see an overlord trying to fly his way into my base from here as well. Stalker should be able to deal with this, honestly. I don't think it said I was supposed to build any other units except for the early on carriers, but we're just gonna fake out an oracle, right? Force out some earlier spores than he ideally wants. You know, just making sure he can't realize that this is gonna be fast carriers. That would be really bad for me. I take fast second and third gas, or fast third and fourth gas, I'm sorry. So I can afford fleet beacon and second Stargate with relative ease. Now I'm not actually completely aware of what the build order is. I haven't really thought about this. I think I can afford a second Stargate. Hello, I think I said I want a second Stargate. There we go. You can get a pylon over here as well. I kinda wanna get a Phoenix. Just to... No, I don't wanna get a Phoenix. I lied to myself. I did want to get a Phoenix, but I don't have the gas for it, I think. So we're just going to start with our first carrier, and we're going to harass with it and use a recall a lot, and from there on out hopefully we have a chance of winning. Now, he must be hella confused. He hasn't seen a single oracle yet. The good old fake Stargate. There's actually a build I used to do where you open Stargate, you hoped it would get scouted, and then you just go into the fastest possible glaive adept push. Which this build was absolutely awful, but if he believes I'm doing it, I wouldn't mind that. So I think I should have been chrono boosting this one, because ideally I want to move out with 3 carriers, I think. So yeah, I'm just going to be chrono boosting mainly the same one. Now we also want our +1 to start relatively soon. Okay, we'll just move out with 2 carriers, who cares. It would be really funny if you like Queen Alliances or something like that. Okay, so as a way to distract our opponent, I'm gonna move across the map with these 4 adepts. There's a lot of roaches. Roaches famously not very useful against things like carriers. But understandable why he built them, honestly, like I said. It's basically like battle cruiser harass, but I can't blink. Or use Yamato. Where the hell is all my carrier? Oh, he's actually ignited. Where the hell is my second carrier? My third carrier? Oh, here it is. We messed up some of our hotkeys. I'm gonna be real about that. He had a knight and everything prepared, eh?
Let us proceed. We are for real.
So most likely he's gonna be building some sort of defense and some kind of anti-air as well. I can say, I'd reckon, right? I mean, I don't actually mind losing the base for. Did I get the kill queens on the other side of the map? Oh, that's nice. I think we might have it. I can't believe this worked. How many? Oh, we have plenty of interceptors left, apparently. I feel like I'm losing some interceptors for no real reason. GG. Can't believe this actually worked. This was really stupid, but I liked it. Carrier harass. Actually managing to beat 6k players. Oh, I can't believe this is working. It always surprises me how many strategies there is that can work in StarCraft 2 if you just have good enough mechanics. He was 6k MMR, I think, 661 or so. So if we translate that to Grandmaster ranking, that'd be about rank 70-ish. Rank 73. Right now, as ourselves, I think we're like 6-2. So it'd be like rank 41 with only strategies that you guys have suggested. So I'm honestly not too disappointed by your guys. Well, I'm not sure if it's knowledge or just my amazing mechanics, but we're making stuff work. It's pretty cool to see like how many things are actually viable at high level as long as your mechanics are good enough. It makes you wonder how many of the strategies that several plays are actually good, or if he's just that much faster than us. I'm pretty sure he could just play Mass Muta against me every game, or like Mass Corruptor, and still win. Just slightly too good, perhaps. Alright, let's cut to the next game, see what's there. Alright, we got ourselves a PvT right now on Golden Wall, which I think is slightly lucky. I feel like we're getting really lucky with the opponents and the maps we're getting. So this map is relatively good for carriers. I'm not sure why I said that. It sounds really weird. But yeah, because you have easy 3 bases that is defended easily with cannons. I'm gonna allow myself to add Storm against Terran just in order to be able to deal with Vikings and Marines. So carrier into Storm it will be. I think we're gonna be playing 2 base carrier. And then just from there on out we'll be heading into Storm. My opponent is a 5.8k Terran, in case you missed that. It's gonna translate to about rank 120-ish, 130 perhaps. It's really fun to see all these strategies and how they interact with actual players. Like last game, the only reason I won it's not because the strategy, let's be real here. It's because my opponent was so confused that I didn't have any air units that he just started building roaches. Then he comes out with 20 roaches and I have 2 carriers and it's like, well, what's good? You know, it's like... The funny thing is if he would have just played like it was a standard game, he would have won really hard because he would have had like 67 drones by the time I arrived with my 2 carriers. But because he's so confused, this actually worked really well. And it does show that there's, especially in PvZ, there's a lot to win for Protosses. If you want to like play tricks on your opponent. I think sometimes a lot of tosses, like we're by definition a race that is kind of bound by mind games and stuff like that. Like, I think we're not using it enough. Like if I see how easy it was last game to trick my opponent, I still think there's a lot of things we could do to make your opponent believe certain things by giving them certain clues and not giving them the next clue. There might be some potential, but not in the carrier build. That build is absolutely not viable. Don't worry about that. That doesn't mean that we can't win with it, of course. It's what I like to call an illegal play. It's an easily exploitable play, but it's still a play that can work at times, right? Just because it's illegal to speed doesn't mean not a lot of people get away with speeding on the daily. And speeding is a minor offense. It's like not scouting in the early game, you know? Then you have other illegal plays like not getting detection, which is like stealing something from your corner shot. Yeah, those are all illegal plays. It's important to remember. Wait, I wasn't supposed to build this. Yeah. No oracle, my friend. No oracle. Okay, so we push one here. This is a good map also to deny scouting on. I completely forgot to mention that part, but yeah, good. So we could shoot one on the low ground, one on the high ground. That's pretty big, usually. We're gonna build a gate wall here on top. I think I'm just gonna go for a single carrier for now. The problem is that he most likely will get Cyclone Viking, which actually is gonna be insane in the early game against my carrier Harras. So I'm not looking forward to that. Right? Should we full wall? Should we? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think so, in case of aliens. Oh, does he scans that? Yeah, he saw that. This is really bad for us. No one should ever scan though. Scanning is for idiots. So we're gonna try to get some info while we move across the map with our carrier to HARRAS. Like I said, we're just gonna be following the plan that I've been given. Second Stargate. We're gonna need to cut some workers, I think, to get our second carrier out. Nah, might be fine actually. We're supply blocked anyway. Don't have money. I don't have space. Oh, he's getting a lot of gas. This means he's most likely going into something like mass Viking. I think I'm gonna lose my first carrier, and after that I'm just gonna lose the game in the silliest of ways. But he has a third CC already. Okay, maybe this is okay. I don't think he quite realized what's happening. We got some good info. I wasn't gonna go in, but now I'm like, I think I can go in. We're actually gonna completely full wall this. I realized there's no reason not to. Triple CC probably is a good build for him. So a bad build for me. Automatically, that's kind of how that works. If we can delay these upgrades for a bit. These are 2 eBays as you can see. Okay, we actually need to just leave. 2-3 Vikings is just too much. I honestly don't believe we have any kind of a chance in this game. We have a wall here. We're gonna... I think... So batteries are good against Vikings, because Vikings will be killing mainly our carriers rather than fighting interceptors. Is at least what happens majority of the time. We could get +2. But we'll need cannons to deal with the Marines, and that's the real issue, the Marines. Like, if I just had to deal with Vikings, I'd be fine. But the Marines, they have so much DPS. I'll get 1 sentry for Guardian Shield. Oh, we're in so much trouble. We're actually in so much trouble. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a pylon here, put a pylon here. So yeah, oh, we can deal with this just fine, I think. We killed all the Vikings. Now I get a lot of Marines. Oh no, he messed up. He might be the one that's in trouble now. I am the captain now. Yeah, that's an issue there, my friend. Get another gateway. No, we have 3 already. It should be fine, right? Should be able to do the job. In case we're being dropped, it's nice to have some kind of defense. Like the cannon and the battery won't be able to save it. You know, that won't be the only defense I'll need, but it will win me some time. You know, cannon might kill 1 or 2 Marines. He seems to only be building Marines as well, so... I mean, it kind of makes sense if you're playing as someone massing carriers, but... So I'm just using these adapts for scouting, right? I'm not really doing anything else with it. Oh, he's getting a lot of air. He has 1 armor already. Marauders. This area is going to be the most important for me to lock down. The reason of that is that if I have that area locked down, I can just kind of expand to these other areas, which are where I can just keep my army. So I'm just gonna keep a single Templar here. I'm gonna put 1 unit in front over here as well. Like just a zealot or so I have a little bit of a warning. I can storm when I need to. We already have +3 at 9 minutes on the way. It's very fast. We have 2 storms as well on the way. I kind of need some vision of his army, which I guess I'll build 1 or 2 oracles for that. But yeah, the main thing I'm afraid of is that I don't really understand what his army composition is going to be like. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of Vikings, don't get me wrong there. The problem I have is that I'm not quite sure what the size of his army is either. He's not really doing anything. It could also be battle cruiser, I just realized. No, it's Viking, as if he has no upgrades yet. And there's no reactors on these Vikings. That's really a bad mistake. Just gonna get a couple of batteries. So he doesn't have a fourth base yet, which is obviously really bad for him. Maybe it's not obvious, but to me it's obvious that it's really bad. Okay, he's actually moving out. He has a lot of Vikings. Okay, we need more batteries, perhaps. And I need him to attack my fourth base rather than my third. I don't have enough storms anymore. So I'm out of storms. Okay, here we go. We have some new ones. Oh, this is going to be the easiest one of my life. GG. Mass carrier. 2-0. That's not half bad. So let's hop into our next game. And then we'll see if we can make it 3-0. That's fantastic, team. I'm happy. Alright, friends. Here we are again. PvZ. Hopefully. Always pretend. So you're getting trolled by Rainer yesterday? Poor Gyarados has no clue that he's about to get carrier rushed by a fake soul. Soul really hates Protoss, so in order to really sell to the crowd that I'm Soul, I will... Yeah, okay, nice. I have to, you know, be a little bit upset about the state of the race. Stupid zealots. Disruptor idiot unit. I think we've solved it well enough now. You will definitely believe I am Sol. I also have some spelling mistakes in there, so... on the right track. Alright. Once again we're going to be playing some carriers. Which is obviously the most important thing that we're going to be doing here today. I actually kind of liked my opponent scouting my Stargate. I thought that was a big play because it confuses them a lot. Actually, even if they don't scout it, they probably still think I'm doing something very aggressive. Because the carriers, they're actually done at such a late time that it makes absolutely no sense anymore. So they're always gonna get some units, I guess. Unless they play Overlord Speed. If they play... Funnily enough, I think Overlord Speed would be insanely good against this. Like, I think it would basically be game over if they get Overlord Speed. Which makes me think, what if I would play this strategy and I block their natural initially? Because that way it's very difficult for Zerg to get Overlord Speed. That might be a good addition. Then I play Adept. Or maybe even just Adept Stalker. That would really trick him. Okay, well, he sees me now. He gets in. I don't care about him getting in. He has no clue what's coming for him, boys. He has no clue. He's just a fool. Decided to ladder at the same time as me. That was his first mistake. Second mistake is thinking I'm Sol. Now what's his third mistake going to be is the real question. That's the real question. I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid. I know that it's not fair. Nobody wants to be alone. Having more fun than me. Now you might be wondering, how are we going to win this game? To be honest, have no clue. But if we do end up winning this, it will be through the power of the initial carrier HARRAS. Now, he hasn't seen a thing yet, anything, so we're gonna just move out with these boys. He hasn't seen any carriers yet, he isn't aware of what life is supposed to look like. Now, I'm gonna do the triple carrier version. I'm not even sure if it's possible. You know what, we're just gonna go with 2 carriers again. So I'm gonna chrono boost this like my little life depends on it. Oh crap, I really want to... I don't want him to scout. Oh, we managed to chase him away. That's big stuff actually. Because if he scouts, that really sucks. Like, actually really sucks.
Give us your command.
We are one. You require more SPF. You have not enough minerals.
Let your will be heard. We
Okay, we're gonna do the same thing once again. We're gonna move.
give us your command.
What I want to say is we're gonna move out with 2 carriers. And then 4 adepts initially, but it seems like the 4 adepts initially plan has been kind of cancelled. Okay, there go the adepts. We start at +1, which is big. +1 is really big on carriers, as we have a lot of different attacks. Do we want to just cancel that, or what's the play here? Guess we just cancel it. He's HARRAS. We're so dead. Okay, we're just actually completely dead, eh?
Let us proceed.
We have no interceptors left. This build is awful. This is what happens when you do a build and they actually just kind of counter it. I can't believe he went Hydras and Banelings though, against not scouting a single unit. It's super risky how he played, but I mean, we can't do anything about him playing risky, you know? We still have the 4 carriers ready to start harassing again soon, but I'm feeling less confident about my ability to get some damage in with these 4 boys. And I'm getting less and less confidence the longer the game goes on that this will be successful in any way. Like, oh, he's moving out. That wasn't very smart, my friend. You just lost all of your Hydro infantry, didn't you? Is that a Nidus? No. That won't work though. I can't believe this is working. The thing that's gonna upset me the most is that people will say that this kind of strategy is viable at the highest level. Well, it's not. It's viable at something close to the highest level. But don't forget, there's a very big difference between this level and what actually is top level. Right? We'll get there eventually, and hopefully we'll get Smackdown real good. So I'm getting tired of all my strategies that you guys suggest winning. Which either means the strategies that I usually play are awful, or... yeah, never mind. This did not go quite how I wanted. Or it means my opponents aren't countering me well. But I'm actually very surprised how well we've been doing so far in this series. Like, we're 6.3k MMR. That's actually not bad at all. Like, That's only like 300 or 400 MMR lower than I usually am with my main account. So it's actually very close. It's a little bit painful. Maybe strategies don't matter at all. You just do whatever. Sure, Protoss. Literally play anything you want.
Let your will.
So we do want to get Storm again. I'm not sure why I warped in this case, but I'm glad I did. I'm sure I needed it. We're gonna try to do a run by with these adepts. Oh, look at this. This is the play of the century as well. Another play of the century. We keep doing plays of the century again and again. So we're gonna trick our opponent that we're doing big pressure with these adepts on one of his base, and then we kill his lair. If this works, I'll be very surprised. Okay, so here's this the distraction. This is the distraction. Bump, we're distracting you. Oh, we're distracting you real good. And now here we go. So we get layer, and then we get the Hydra then. Oh, we're losing. No, we're not losing. And we're just gonna idle in this general area. Look at this, boys. And you can't actually attack me while I'm here, I believe. Look at this. Just waiting for interceptors to come back. Uh-oh. Accidentally attacked the wrong part of town. He's thinking, well, he's doing a good job, you know, dealing with everything there. We kill this Hydra then, and his lair, so we won't be able to rebuild Hydras too fast. I wish I could hold fire or something. I'm afraid I might accidentally attack. So these all go together in one group. I should probably start my +3. We have a lot of... Oh, okay, he's also getting some stuff there, I guess. I think we're just winning, honestly, like really freaking hard. I think we can kill some stuff here, maybe a couple of queens. I think we might have won. A harassing group of 7 carriers won us the game. Well, actually what won us the game was catching half of his army here in the early game, but let's not pay too much attention to that. I can't believe this strategy worked. I'm so angry right now. Here I've been practicing actual strategies all my life, figuring out the best way to do build orders. And the best way to actually win StarCraft games is just to ask your YouTube comment section to think of some stuff that they always wanted to try and platinum, but never had the mechanics to do so. Maybe even in gold or in bronze. Ah, you know, it sounds good, lots of carriers. Alright. I play lots of carriers, accidentally win games. This is the meme of Protoss, isn't it? With the people saying on mass carriers I'm weak. Actually, it's true. He's fuming right now, you can feel it. He has 5 Hydras left, I have like 25 carriers. Like, I have more Templar than he has Hydras. He didn't want to leave the game. He was getting on terms with the fact that he lost to Soul's Protoss. Little does he know. Not really Soul. Alright. This was a fantastic show again, boys. Thanks everyone for the recommendations. Don't forget to put new recommendations down in the comments below if you did like it. subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and stuff. I also have a second channel, which will be down in the description as always. Don't forget to subscribe to that. Watch all those videos in a row. Click on the advertisements. I love you all. Bye bye.